Hi folks, welcome back to my second video for Bank Holiday May. What I'll do is I'll split this one down into a few segments. What I'll do is I'll start with this one. This is a map I worked on and a hex grid map for my campaign, for my Peloponnesian War, and I got it printed off by Docs Direct, good service online printing, cheapest chips. Quite a few things wrong with this, but this you can generally see what my idea is. Using a book I have here. Get it? There we go. This one. Tony Both's Ancient Wargaming. It shows you all the. It tells you all the information for the grid and hex movements. So you can have everyone can play a game rule set solo, whatever rule set they want. But a campaign is a different matter. I've seen Martin from the Seventh Son. He set up a Great War of the Roses one, and he came up with something, and it was fantastic to work for him. This is for to work for myself. For me, the idea is just to set up a campaign going, based in the Hellenic period with the Greeks. Have it all laid out in my shed, go to work, come back, have a few moves, throw a few dice, and then on the weekend, when I've got a bit of free time, do a bit of painting. So this hex grid is what I'm showing here is we have started in northern Greece as part of the Achaean League, and it's the city-state of Achaea, and it's not all of them, but it's the best part of the towns and cities that I've researched. I think there's about 3 or 4 more to add. So this map is just basically going to be used for the distance movement. That's a mistake by me that could have been corrected, but I'm just pretending that's not there now. It'll be like a 7 days movement per hex, and that'll give us on a campaign map the movement phases and how long it takes. I'm yet to work out a diplomacy, how diplomacy works for the ancient Greeks. It'll have to be obviously this how I'll be starting this campaign. I'll just be basing it in Achaea first. Below you've got Arcadia, to the west is Elis, to the east here is Corinth. Lower you've got Lacedaemon, Sparta, you have Argos. But mainly this is just where my campaigns start, so I'm learning a lot about each city-state, each village. And one of the ways to do diplomacy would possibly be to give each one a dice roll and a number, and then I'll just have to work out how we'll go from there. But I'm sure I'll get there, and but in the meantime I'm just painting away my forces for each city-state and each city, and we'll see how that goes. I have drawn this onto a big map, which I'll show you in a second, but it's yet to be populated with towns and villages and cities. So the idea is I'll have my map, my big map, and this one for the movements, so then I'll know how long it takes, so you get the general gist of it. I'll just pause this and then I'll show you the big map. Right, here's the big map. You can see it is really big. Drew this all myself, printed it out, just stuck it together. It's not populated as the Gulf of Corinth. Border lines here for Achaea, roughly drawn in. Ellis will be there, Arcadia, Corinth will be there, small state of Sicyon is there somewhere. But yeah, this has to be populated with towns and villages, and then that's me map, so I know basically where my campaign is being based, and that gives me peace of mind. Right, I'll go on to my next segment. That again, this is my book purchases on the theme of ancient Greece. There's a museum collection of books I picked up from World of Books, all cheap, £3, you know, they were in good nick. I mean, there's some gems. This one on Corinth, if you look on the back, there's a pulley out, and it's the Agora in Corinth, you know. I mean, straight away, if I'm wanting to cop any models there, I've scored with that one for £3. Delphi, obviously, I've not much information on Delphi. It's still related to the Oracle of Delphi, where the Greeks used to go for the decisions. This one, Heraklion. Don't think this one's got any in the back. Heraklion of Peloponnese. This just covers a whole lot. The section on there's a map actually of Peloponnese in the back, but it's in Greek. But it will come in handy. Not till you get to the very end. There's a section on IKEA, and it's the smallest part. Typical. But yeah, that's great. And two different version ones on Olympia. They're great. All cheap as chips. More expensive ones were only about like 9 to 11 quid. Syracuse, I'm not too sure if I've already showed these ones off. An Osprey one, campaign series. Platea, which is another good one. Pylos and Spectra, I think it's pronounced. Another one on Spartans. I've read the old one, this is a newer one. And something interested, maybe mate Lee interested. He's interested in the Roman naval warfare. I'm interested obviously in the Greek one. And Salamis is a famous naval battle. The Persian Wars. So I was wanting to see if I can incorporate naval battles into my campaign system. So the idea I've had is to have 2 or 3 28mm scale ships built. Very hard task. I think the only supply of 28mm triremes is in America, and that's out of the question for post now, like the way our country sorted that, like, or customs and that, like. So I'm going to attempt to, I've started one, I'm going to attempt to build them, and in the meantime I've been looking for smaller scale ships and found a supplier on eBay who does them in MDF, and they're about 3-4 inches long, but I would say more like 3 inches, and I'm waiting for some of them to come, so I'll possibly use them, and then it's going to have to work out naval battles and all that, but it's going to be part of my campaign and I'm playing myself. What I'll do is I'll just pause this and I'll show you how far I've gotten with building my first trireme. Here we are. Here's me attempted a 28mm trireme. This is for scale. I think the ones that are shop bought are roughly about 23 inches long, which is a hell of a lot longer than this. So I wanted to scale it down a bit more. Well, I think I'm getting the size right for the figures. It's not like ships I've built in the past where it's plank on frame. It's solid hull construction. Will be basically 2 decks in it. This is where I don't know whether to put any more detail in for seats for the oarsmans. The back end, the stern could have been thinner, but I experimented and carved out a solid bit of wood. Shouldn't have really went as far as that. Should have just really done a thin bit. Well done the next ones. The front was all sanded into shape. Lots of wood put on. Really, when you haven't got like plans to go off and you're winging it on a solid hull construction, you've just got to like start building somewhere and see how far you get, you know. But yeah, I'll get around to building. I'll have 2 different kinds of triremes, an Athenian one, one based for a Greek for the Spartans and any other state, and then I'll have a Persian one. And what will happen is on the board system, it will be a case of playing with small scale, but when it comes to actual, if a ship isn't sunk and it's combat or boarding, I'll switch over to 28, and that might be a bit more fun. Carrying on, just tinkering away, building this. So I decided to build a small scale one, inch scale trireme, to see what they'll look like, you know. Just being a bit impatient, but I know you can, there's 3D printed ones you can get, so you'll be able to get them any size. The ones I've getting me eyes set on, my heart set on, is I think they're like about 3 inches. Yeah, I'll show you this one. Get a closer look. Yeah, leave it. I just made this out of wood. Copper wire for oars, transfer on. Now that just made, it took about 20 minutes to make, and the hardest part was finding, like, getting the materials together. It took us a while to get the materials in. I thought, right, I know what to go for. I'm not bad joinery skills. I can turn my hand to stuff like that if I know what I'm doing. Like I say, that's just a couple of days work on that. About 2 days work on it, but then I'm just running out of ideas. But I will finish that. But the next 2 won't be like that. Maybe he's built a different way, you know. Yeah, that was a little novelty. So he could be like, he's a shipwright, there's his model, that's what I want it to look like. No, just carrying on. Right, what else did I get? Purchases. I've ordered a few things. I've ordered the new second edition of Hail Caesar, because the Hellenic part looks quite good in that. I've ordered some more Vitrix, which I'm going to fit in with my warlords. This one. I wanted some Theban band or Thebans, so I've got 5 loose sprues of these, and this box set. And with these, I bought some decals to go instead of painting them myself, you know. So that's purchase. I've got some light Greek cavalry coming from Vitrix, and some unarmoured hoplites. Unarmoured hoplites, yeah. Some. Right. What I'll do is I'll pause this and I'll get some parts where, you know, I was working on a polis. So I've completed my polis now, and I've got a modular quarter town wall, which I can use for anything now really, any different scene I want with battles and all outside of a Polis. So I'll just pause this and I'll get the parts. Right, back there folks. What I've used is, these are like old ones that I've used for biblical, and this is just plywood and some foam board. It's all base coloured for sandstone. Seems to be the common type of stone there in Greece. This is the foam board, so I've made some modular pieces and then used the roller to texture it, covered it with masonry paint, shade on it. There's two parts of these walls, the parapets, all seem to be like that. Two little sections that are in, and the gate. And that's the gate. Gate is actually a renderer base. I just textured like wood myself. This is a piece of wood. Same for the back. And there's a place for to put a sentry on there. I'll pause this and I'll put the Polis into place and show you the different configurations. Okay, so this is what a Polis wall would be like without any a fortified gate system. This would be just like a normal village Polis wall. So I'll show you an overview of that. It makes more sense than to build like a full scale one, whereas I don't really have the room, so built this modular one. You can see I think it'll do the part. Then what we do is, if you want an armoured gate, fortified gate, it'll be a case of putting these in place. The gate there. Defensive towers. And bringing in I'll actually bring it in a bit because it's set for like a quarter scale. So I'll get this sorted. So there you go, that's the idea. So that's what I was wanting to achieve. I had to think about it. I thought I can't do a full scale. So I'm going to break it down because it's going to serve the purpose. So what I'll be doing is the battle will be like ensuing outside of the Polis walls, and normally the state of affairs will be settled. What happens inside is just basically, I haven't thought of any rules for fighting inside. Just Hail Caesar's rules for straightforward combat outside. So what I'll do now is I'll pause this once again. And I'll populate the village and the Polis inside so you can see what it looks like altogether. Right folks, here we go. I'm sorry if the video has been too long, but I had to do it in several stages. There's been so much to cover because I'd done quite a bit up to the point where I wasn't very well, and then I stopped and there was just dribs and drabs, but the amount I'd covered was quite prolific. I achieved I think it's like 95% of what I wanted to get done. I got my Polis done, which you see in front of you, Polis walls done, me modular town done, all my villagers painted, roughly about 25, which I can use for each one. if I have to show them in a combat scene like this, like I'm showing you in front, this is what it would maybe look like on my 4x4 table. Obviously there'd be more units as like with 4 either side really, but these are the main combatants, the main hoplite bodies of each palace, either lightly armed hoplites or heavily armed hoplites for a major city. Yeah, it was fun doing. The other part of it is obviously finishing how I'm doing my campaign and the ship, the galley fighting. Yeah, they're the other two parts, and then I'm complete. And that project will be up and running for me to play my solo games using my Hail Caesar rules and some homebrew rules for myself, which will make me a happy bunny. But what I'll do is I'll show you some close-ups. I'll get my phone here and show you, and give you a little tour around it. So this is two. The combatants is Achaeans, and you have Patras, the capital, the biggest one, with the X for Achaean League on their shields, facing off against Argeir, and I've painted their patrons, a sea nymph. That's my accent again. On the shields of the leading guys, and then sea motifs transfers on theirs. Over here, got my goats, my shepherd, my olive trees I've made. I'll have my hero. It's a leader. I don't have another one painted yet, but I've got some. I've got the people of the town, or the polis, sorry, looking on the battlements. And we'll go to the battlements. Have a guard, and then there's the classic mother with a shield. Come back home with it or on it. Done various buildings, town centre, the temple, and yeah, it's about 25 populated. I mean, I'll zoom out a bit. That's kind of what you're looking at. And I think I can get, if I needed to fight a battle outside of a polis, I think that's ideal. And I'm quite happy with that. So this video's been long enough. Thanks for putting up with us and all the breaks. And I appreciate for your likes, your subs, your support. Till next update, which is I'm working on another faction. I think it's Dime or Deem. See you then. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. Bye bye.